Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be starting a new vlog. I have finished Words of Radiance and I have started The Girl in 6E or something like that. I don't know. But so, Words of Radiance. Finally finished it. I think I've been reading that one all year. Like, all year. Actually, hang on. I will look. April. I started Words of Radiance in April and I just now finished it. It is really long and I wish I enjoyed it more. And it's so unfortunate because this is my favorite of the four that I've read. So I'm really scared that I'm not going to like the fifth one. And it's just not going to hold up at all because it's just so long. It's just so long. I mean, 45 hours for each book is a 45-hour audiobook. I think the other ones are a little bit longer. Like, that's just too much. It's way too much. And I think that that's why I have such a problem with it. Like, there are some really, really, really good scenes in several parts of the book. Like, I really like a lot of the characters. Shalon's really not that bad. I love Kaladin. I love Adolin. I love Pattern. Dalinor's fine. I just don't care. And I think that's the problem, is it's just too long. So I think I would love it a whole lot more if it was a little bit shorter. So I really think that I'm going to listen to some summaries on YouTube for Oathbringer and Rhythm of War so that I can kind of like be caught up a little bit. And then just listen to Wind and Truth. Maybe by March. Maybe I'll start it in March. I'm not going to hold myself to that, but we're hopeful. Because I'm really scared. I'm really scared. I'm not going to like it. I really want to know what happens, but I also don't want to hate it because I really liked it to begin with. We'll see. I am also going to do an individual video for Words of Radiance. Listen, I listened to it and I took notes, and I'm not going to let all that go to waste. I will do a video. Okay. So that will be coming. I don't know when, but it'll be coming. Hopefully before Christmas. Hopefully. Should be. Anywho, I have started Girl in 6E, I think is what it's called. It's interesting so far. I've only listened to, like, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe. But we're following this woman. Her fake name is Jessica. I don't remember her real name, but her fake name is Jessica. And she lives in apartment 6E. And apparently she's like a shut-in. She does not leave. And the reason why she's a shut-in isn't because she's scared of people or she hates people or whatever. It's because she wants to kill them. That's the whole reason. And I have no idea what's going to happen. I think the description that I heard before was that she ends up hearing about a neighbor trying to kill somebody or something, or kidnap somebody. I don't know. And so she has to leave the house in order to, like, deal with the situation. So I don't know. I think it'd be really interesting to follow someone who likes to kill people. I mean, I really liked Brother, and that was about serial killers. So let's just continue with the depravity, I guess. Who knows? And I don't know if she's gonna, like, become the hero. I mean, that'd be kind of interesting. A serial killer who becomes a hero. Actually, I don't even know if she's killed anyone. It just says that she's obsessed with murder and she has murderous thoughts. We don't know yet if she's killed anybody. I'll keep you posted. All right, so I am like a little over halfway done with The Girl in Apartment E. And oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going to happen. We are just following this girl. She is a cam girl. I don't know how, like, to say that, but she performs on camera for men. And through her line of work, she has found this guy who she thinks is a pedophile or a potential pedophile. And she is really concerned about it. And it's interesting because, like, she is a murderer and is, like, obsessed with murder and, like, wants to kill people. And so because of that, she has shut herself away in this apartment. She's not left for 3 years. And she interacts online every day. That's the only kind of human interaction she gets. And she gets all of her food delivered. She gets all of her supplies delivered. Any of her packages that come, the mailman will, like, lay them by the door and knock. And she's just like, leave it, thank you. And then he walks away. Even if she's supposed to sign it, like he will sign it for her in order for him to like continue about his day because she will not come outside of that door. So super, super interesting. I have no idea what's getting ready to happen, but we have just found out that the guy that she has been interacting with online is probably a pedophile, maybe a pedophile. We don't really know. It's interesting because we're following all kinds of like different perspectives, and some of the perspectives are like first person or like maybe not even first person, but like we don't know their names. And so because of the fact that we don't know their names, we don't know who they are in Deanna's world. Deanna is our main character. We don't know who's in her world. And because of that, we don't know who it is that might have done it. Especially because they're all using like um online names or whatever. And the little girl Annie that has been kidnapped, we don't know who it is that she knows that kidnapped her. We just know that she's been kidnapped by somebody that she knows. We have no idea. So we think that it's the dude that Deanna knows, but we don't know for sure. So she's going to go and attempt to figure it out herself. So she's going to leave her apartment, even though she has murderous tendencies. Like, first time she interacts with people, she's like, I want to kill you. So I have no idea what's going to happen. This could be a wild ride. But I'm actually pretty interested. I don't know what the big twist is going to be, though. That's the part that I'm really interested in. Is I wonder what this twist is. Because it's a thriller. And so I feel like there's got to be some sort of twist happening, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I think because we know that she has killed somebody in the past, but we don't know who. I think that that piece is going to be a big part of the twist or like a big reveal. I don't know though, but we're going to find out. I have also started My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. And if you haven't heard of this book, it's also a movie, but we're following this little girl, um, Anna, something like that. I don't know. Something like that. But she is the second sister, the youngest sister, I guess I should say. Her older sister, Kate, has leukemia. And so Kate is dying, and Kate is constantly in need of transplants and blood fusions and bone marrow transplants and all these kinds of things. Well, the little sister, we'll call her Anne for now until I figure out what her name is, but she was actually conceived and born to be a genetic, like identical genetic copy of her sister. That way they could use her for parts. Sounds crazy. But when you're a desperate mom, when you don't want your kid to die, I mean, what might you do? So we start this book. We learn a little bit about the family. But then we go pretty quickly into Anne goes to a lawyer's office and is filing for emancipation from her parents for medical reasons. This way she can say, no, I am not giving you a kidney to give to my sister. I am done being a donor for her. I love Jodi Picoult because of the fact that she will take these kinds of like topics and she'll explore it from all the different perspectives. Like we will get Anne's perspective, we will get the lawyer's perspective, we will get the parents' perspectives. I don't think we get the sister's perspective at all. They have a brother, and I don't remember if we get his perspective or not. This is a reread, by the way. Um, but I do know that we get a lot of different perspectives. So we can actually like see and sympathize with this mom who sees that her child is dying at 2 years old and she has maybe 3 years to live at best. And she makes a choice in order to protect her child. So Jodi Picoult writes it in a way that you can sympathize. And you can also sympathize with Anne because of the fact that like she doesn't want to continue giving parts to her sister. Like, my whole purpose is to give parts to her. When is it done? When am I done being spare parts? Like just like a machine. Like, and you understand that even though when you first hear that situation, you're like, how in the world are you gonna say I'm not giving you more of my parts even though you might die? I'm gonna leave you to your chemo or your cancer. Like, either way you go, it's a tough situation. And Jodi Picoult does a really good job of handling the situations and helping you see all the perspectives and showing you that there's no one right answer and that people are going to make choices to the best of their ability. And sometimes bad things happen when we make choices, but that's just the way it is sometimes. But so I'm super excited for what I'm getting ready to read. I think that that's all that I'm currently reading. Yeah, I finished Words of Radiance, and I think that was the only other thing that I was reading. So we're doing pretty good. I finished Girl in 6E, and oh my gosh, I had the best time. This book was fantastic. Everything was really predictable. Like, I kind of figured the twist before it happened, but I had the best time. This book was so good. I even had goosebumps at the end. And there was one scene where I'm like, why am I about to cry right now? Like, I have no idea why I felt so emotional about this book, but I felt emotional about this book. Who knew? It was fantastic. I definitely recommend it. Like, the ending was everything that I feel like it should have been, and it landed completely. Like, I don't have any notes at all about this book. I think the only thing is that when I listen to an audio, it's not entirely clear early on, like, who we're following, but I think that's the point. I think we're not supposed to be fully aware of, like, who everyone is, and that's what helps keep, like, the mystery alive for, like, who is the deviant gonna be? And I think that that's it was confusing at first, but I think that that was the whole point. So, no notes on this book. This was fantastic. I have also started My Sister's Keeper. I'm about 25% of the way through right now. So, I remember quite a bit of it as far as, like, the general plot. Um, but I didn't remember a lot of the details. And so that's been fun, kind of getting back into all the details. And so we're following Kate. Kate is the sister. No, Anne. Anne is the younger sister. Kate is the older sister. Kate has cancer. Anne was born to be spare parts for her sister, basically. Like, that was the whole point. And we got there because when Kate was like 2 or 3, they found out that she had cancer and she has a special type of leukemia and she needs constant donations. And finding a living donor is incredibly hard. And so they tested her brother to see if he was a match, and he wasn't a match. So they decided to have another child to see if that child could be the match that their sister needed. And it's a little bit controversial because the fact that they used, like, genetic engineering in order to make sure that she was a genetic match for her sister. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of the ethics of genetically creating a child to be spare parts for a sibling. And so far we have followed Anne, and she has gone to the lawyer and has retained him. And her mom was a lawyer. I didn't know that her mom was a lawyer. I forgot about that. So that's going to be really interesting because her and the lawyer are suing her family for emancipation over medical choices. So this gives her rights to her own body and the right to make her own medical decisions. And her mom is a lawyer. And so it's going to be super interesting seeing how, like, that plays out. Like, I know that we get quite a bit of the law stuff, but I don't remember how it all plays out. So I'm really interested to see all of that. Jodi Picoult does a really great job with all of the law stuff. I think she was a lawyer before she became a writer, so she just knows it. I also forgot about the brother. I think I said his name was Michael, didn't I? His name is Jesse. I don't know where I got Michael. Maybe from brother. But his name is Jesse. And he is a hooligan. He is doing things that he's not supposed to be doing, and I'd forgotten all about those things that he was doing. As soon as we were in the dad's perspective, and the dad was talking about um, something happening that was causing the firefighters to have to go out and do stuff. I was like, that sounds familiar. I think that that's something having to do with somebody from close to the family. And I was right. Trying not to be spoilery, so we'll see. But yeah, that's all so far. Um, as of right now, we have not followed Kate's perspective, and I don't think that we do. I think that we follow everybody else but Kate's perspective, and that's intentional because they don't want us to know how Kate feels about everything, you know? So we don't get Kate's perspective, which I think it'd be cool to get Kate's perspective a little bit, but knowing what I know, like I understand why we're not getting Kate's perspective. So it's fine. I think that that's all for now. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to do this clip without doing that. That's a candle. I don't know why it's doing that. It just hates me, I guess. Okay, we're just gonna go on. But so I started His and Hers by Alice Feeney, and I had no idea what this book was about. I think when I was like on an Alice Feeney kick, I was just like checking all the books on Libby, and so like the loan popped up. So I was like, okay, well I'll read it. Well, according to the blurb, we've got this dead body, and we've got this dude and this girl, and they're like sort of intertwined, and both are kind of suspects for this dead body. We don't really know anything at this point. All we know so far is we're following Anna, and Anna is a newscaster, whatever person, and we're following this dude, and I don't remember his name. But is that her name, Anna? I feel like we didn't get names. Yeah, no, we got her name. But like when you do the chapter headings, it says him and her. But there's no chapter headings. So I don't know that I know his name. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But so with him, he is a detective. And so he ends up getting called out to come look at this dead body that they found. And he's analyzing the body and all of these things. And then his like perspective ends with him saying, I was with her last night. So he knows her. And if she is who I think she is, then Anna knows her. So Anna was a newscaster. I mean, she wasn't a newscaster, but she was wanting to be one. Well, this girl, I don't remember her name, but she, can you tell I don't know anything? But so she ends up going on maternity leave, and so Anna takes over for her spot. Well, it's been 2 years, and Anna's been there the entire time, and now this girl comes back and takes Anna's job, so Anna gets booted out. Well, now if this is the woman that took her spot, then she has motive to kill her because she's very mad about this. And so that's where we are so far. Don't know anything else. But if I know anything about Alice Feeney, she's going to get me. Like, she is going to have some sort of twist that I don't see coming. Like, she's going to get me. I can't go into this with any sort of expectations. I can't predict anything because she's going to get me. All right? Can't do it this time. I did it with the last several books. I'm not doing it again. So I am not predicting anything. I am just here for the ride. I'm not even predicting who killed. Okay? I'm just going to listen and enjoy and not get burned again. Okay? Not today, Alice Feeney. Not today. Okay? I finished My Sister's Keeper over the weekend. I had a decently long driving to the boyfriend's and back. So I got all the way done with My Sister's Keeper. And I sort of remembered the things that had happened, but I didn't remember all of the pieces that had happened. And I liked it well enough. It definitely explores the controversial topics like Jodi Picoult really does quite often. Sorry, my hair. I worked out this morning, so my hair's not cooperating. Anywho, the ending wasn't what I remembered. I remembered it happening a different way, and I can't spoil it because, I mean, it's a big plot twist. And I remembered the plot twist, but I thought that it had happened a different way with somebody else. So that was a surprise to me because I wasn't ready for that. I remember liking the ending the first time that I read it, but this time around, I don't like the ending as much as I did the first time. And it's because of that twist that I didn't like it as much this time around, because of the fact that we did all these things and then the twist happened and now it's kind of like a moot point. And it just didn't hit like it did the first time around. I loved all the discussions up until that point though, where you've got this little girl who is filing for medical emancipation from her parents because she was genetically engineered to be a compatible donor for her sister. And through this court case, you are getting Anna's side of everything, but you're also getting both of her parents' sides of everything, where you understand from Anna's point of view that she doesn't have a whole lot of autonomy with her medical decisions. She doesn't have a lot of autonomy over her own body and what happens to it. So she's undergone some of these medical surgeries and medical, there was a word I'm looking for. She's been having a lot of medical stuff done to her because of her sister. And she doesn't get a lot of say in that because this is what she was born for. Throughout, you also get a little bit of that understanding of like, Anna would do anything for her sister. Like, she doesn't want her sister to die. And she understands that by declining giving her sister a kidney, her sister's going to die. And at 13, like, that is a tough thing. Like, they try to drive home to Anna that if you don't do this, your sister will die. Which, while, yeah, that's right. But it also really comes off as emotional manipulation where they are trying to really hammer home, like, you need to give your sister this kidney because if not, she will die. Like, there's a scene where her sister Kate is like, I don't want to do this anymore. And her mom's like, well, fine, just commit suicide then. And and Kate's like, it's not suicide if you're already dying anyways, you know? And it wasn't her mom telling her to like go kill herself. It was in the context of, you're going to kill yourself because you're not going to do these surgeries. And so you see a lot of that happening where this mom is so desperate to protect Kate and desperate to extend her life and keep her around longer and things like that. And as a mom, like, I'm not a mom, but like in the shoes of a mom, like, you can understand that desperation. I mean, what parent isn't going to go to the ends of the earth to try and save their kid? And you can see that balancing act, because if you can save your child, like, what are you not going to do? And that's the thing that I really love about Jodi Picoult's books, is that you get that side by side juxtaposition of these topics and both sides of the coin for all of this, you know? And I really like the added piece of Jesse's story. Jesse is the older brother. And I mean, can you imagine what it would be like to be a sibling to a child who's dying, and like, you're the older sibling, and now because of your younger sister dying and the other one is a donor and you can't be a donor because you're not compatible, how much are you going to be like ignored and not seen and neglected and all these things? And not saying that they ever like abusive neglect, but just like emotional neglect. Like, they're just not there enough because they're so focused on this child that's dying, you know? And so he gets in trouble and he smokes cigarettes and does drugs and he does all kinds of things because nobody cares, you know? Like, they literally don't care. Even when they know that he's doing these things, they get mad at him, sure, sometimes, but at the end of the day, they aren't going to do anything about it because they're so focused on Kate. Kate is the only one who gets like that complete attention because of the fact that she's dying. Which, again, in a parent's shoes, you've got a kid who's dying. I mean, you're going to focus 90% of your brain capacity on this child. So you definitely can understand it from both perspectives. And I love the way that Jodi Picoult writes it in a way that you could go either way. Both sides are valid and have great points. Now, because it is usually a courtroom sort of story, there usually is a verdict, but the way the story is written, you have no idea what's going to happen with this verdict until it ends up happening. And so she does a really good job of like keeping you involved in the story and engaged in the story. That's a better way to say it, because you just don't know how it's going to play out. And so I really like her stories. My Sister's Keeper is definitely not one of my favorites, but it's definitely recommendable. Okay, and then I am halfway through His and Hers by Alice Feeney, and I have no idea what's happening. I'm just along for the ride. I'm trying really, really hard to not predict anything, because as soon as I start predicting, Alice Feeney is going to get me, and I'm not going to be gotten this time. She's already gotten me on like every other book, and I'm not doing it this time. So I am literally just along for the ride. We are following Anna and Jack, and they are on opposite sides of this murder that is happening. Anna's a reporter, Jack is a police officer, and they used to be married. And so we're following them as they're trying to investigate this murder, but also it's people that they know and have interacted with. So they're also kind of tangled up in this murder for like in a personal way. They are tangled up in this story. And they're also trying to like investigate it for their professional lives. And they're also dealing with their dynamics of the fact that they used to be married and things are really tense with them and stuff like that. And it's interesting, and I have no idea what's going on because we've gotten two murders so far, and both of them know both of them, and both of them are kind of being set up for having murdered these people, and both of them potentially could have murdered these people, but we don't know. And I'm trying not to guess because Alice Feeney will get me. And they also feel too obvious at the same time, but also because I get tricked by Alice Feeney, I have no idea what's happening. So I'm not guessing anything. I am just along for the ride, but I'm halfway through, and it's been interesting so far. I don't particularly care for either of the main characters, but I am here to figure out who is the murderer and how all the pieces fall. Like, I am here for the twist. Like, I am ready for this twist, and I am just like on the edge of my seat waiting for it. But who knows how that's going to go. So we will see. I will keep you posted probably when I finish. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I'll update you about that when I finish His and Hers. Now, the other thing to update you on is that I was in like a small car accident on Friday, and it was a wild time. It was such a chaotic morning. I was already running late because I had things I had to do. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna be late, but I need to get food and I wanna get coffee and I need to get gas. And so on my road, I was like in line to go left. Well, there was a car accident at right here where our roads merge. Not merge, but like intersect. Yeah, that's the word. And so I'm sitting here in this line, and the dude in front of me starts backing up. And I try honking at him, but he backs up into me. So we have to get out and do the whole like, yeah, you hit my car, but it's not damaged, so we're good sort of thing. It was so chaotic. And then because of the wreck, it took forever for like EMS and the cops or whatever to like let me out to go left. And so I ended up being several minutes late to my client, and I didn't get my coffee. I had to wait for coffee and I had to wait for gas, and it was a whole thing. And so Friday was very chaotic. I'm really glad that the weekend has been a lot calmer. And then like today is like super calm. I was supposed to have a session at 9:15 and then 11:45, and I got to the office early so I could work out. Both of those canceled. Actually, well, technically my 9:15 didn't show up. So I'm literally just chilling until 2:10. So, gonna get some editing done, and got a chance to update you on the books and got a pretty good discussion out of it. So, not too bad of a day overall. All right, so I finished His and Hers by Alice Feeney, and I am happy to announce that she did not get me this time. I worked really, really hard to not predict anything. Anytime I was trying to predict something and be like, "Ooh, what if it's this? What if it's this?" I'm like, Nope. Just go with it because she will get me. And you know what? She would have. She absolutely would have. This book is so twisty and turny, like so many threads and pieces of information that you have no idea. You know it's important, you know it connects somewhere, but you don't know where. She would have got me. Absolutely. Is this my favorite of hers? No. But I still think it was pretty good. I'm still going to continue on with reading more of her stuff because this was great. Like, I had a good time, especially once we got like towards the end. Fantastic. I mean, we got a serial killer, and the serial killer is systematically going after all the people on this like hit list that they have. Yeah, you're going to get pretty invested pretty quickly when the people that you are following are at risk and you have no idea who the killer is and everyone is a suspect, and you don't know whether to trust your main characters, you don't know whether to trust their family or their friends. Nobody is to be trusted. And so I had a pretty good time with it. I'm definitely enjoying my Alice Feeney reads. I really should have done like a vlog of like her stuff, of like me reading just her stuff, but I missed that. I might do it with some of her others, but I don't know. We might do it. We'll see. Anywho, that will be the end of this vlog. I have no idea how long it is. I don't even know where this vlog started. I think it was back when I listened to like 6E, like the girl in 6E. That feels like forever ago, but it was only a couple weeks ago. But I think that that's where this started. Like, I have no idea. I just know it's been a while. And so it'll be fun editing and re-seeing all of my reactions. But I need to get this edited before the weekend because I'm trying to have this go up on Tuesday. I already have a video planned for Friday. It's already scheduled to go up. And so I'm trying to like stay ahead a little bit because I get so behind so fast. And these vlogs, they take a while to edit because of the fact that there's so much footage. Oh my gosh, there was one video I just did not too long ago and I was editing it and it was like 40 minutes of footage and then it like dropped down to like 15 minutes. It was a lot of dead space and a lot of unnecessary rambles. So it got cut down. So that takes a lot of time. So definitely trying to like not hurt myself with editing and trying to like give myself plenty of time. So gonna go ahead and end this vlog here. What are you reading? Let me know in the comments and I will see you in the next one.